Now, folks, I want to talk about a topic. Here's the topic, and the topic is about leadership. I want to talk about profound leadership and how a leader can rise to power and not only show and prove, but lead a country into greatness. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about what my good friend Jesse Lee Peterson refers to him as the Great White Hope. I'm talking about the great Donald Trump, a president, number 45, president of this great nation, the United States of America. Now, Donald Trump might be, right now, probably one of the most polarized, the most demonized, the most controversial presidents in modern day history. Why is that, you say? Because he did not fit the norm. He did not fit the political blueprint, so the cards were stacked against him since he entered into Washington, not only by the left-wing Democrats, the progressives on the left, the Democratic Party, but also the rhino Republicans and the neocons on the right. So you also have a deep state to contend with, a deep state that not only wants to keep themselves hidden and powerful, but also wants to keep that powerful hand over Washington. Donald Trump came into the presidency and said he was going to drain the swamp, rid Washington of all its political corruption. And of course, myself, I was doubtful because any man could talk the game. I mean, we saw it with that racist lowlife, Barack Hussein Obama. We saw what he did. And it wasn't much for the country, but it was more so for himself. But he was everybody's darling. They loved Hussein Obama, didn't they? Him and his overbearing, condescending, radical, racist wife, Michelle. And we'll talk about her later, who wants to get up on stage recently and dance like an old loose foozy, an old real-life woman. That's the kind of woman Barack Obama is married to. And I'm sure she wears the pants in that relationship. But I digress. I want to talk about a great leader, and that's Mr. Donald Trump. I call you Mr. first because I respect you. That's why I call you Mr. because I respect you. Now, why is he a great leader? Why is he productive? You might want to ask, well, what has he done? What has he done? He's done nothing for us. Just talk a lot of stuff and get caught up in a Russia scandal and meddling with some low-level whore prostitute. But I'm here to tell you today, what the mainstream media doesn't want you to know, what they don't want you to project, is that GDP is at 4%, gross domestic product in the country. Unemployment is down at its lowest number that it's been in almost 20 years in the United States, but they don't want to talk about that. Black unemployment is at a record low, not seen in over 25 years. Mr. Donald Trump, national security, building the wall. That project is in effect. Border jumpers, border crossers are at an all-time low. There's been an imposition of more assistance for the men and women on the Border Patrol. National security is big. We want to shut down DACA. Donald Trump petitioned to do that. But of course, he's been blocked in the Supreme Court, been blocked in Congress, been blocked. But he is effective. And last but not least, Donald Trump, under his administration, brokered a détente between North and South Korea, something unprecedented, that we haven't seen in over 75 years. A communist leader shakes hands with the leader of South Korea. We haven't seen that over 75 years. And that was the aid of the Trump administration. Donald Trump has said, hell, the South Korean head said Donald Trump deserves that Nobel Peace Prize. So what I'm saying is, give Donald Trump the Nobel Peace Prize and give it to him now. We finally got a leader in the White House. We finally got a stomped down, real life man going to do whatever it takes to see America prosper first. You see, it's about America first. And that lowlife commie junior senator, whatever he was, out of Chicago, Hussein Obama, community organizer, didn't do it. Hell, he couldn't even save Chicago. Mr. Chicago. That's why Chicago is in some of the greatest peril that it is now than it's ever been. What do you do? Just pander to Black Lives Matter. But I'm not here to talk about Hussein Obama. I'm here to talk about our great president, Mr. Donald Trump. Again, I call you Mr. first because I respect you. Now, I did not support the Syrian airstrikes. I don't think we should meddle in foreign affairs, and I spoke out against Donald Trump in regards to that. That I did not like, and that I did not support. But alas, let's talk about the bigger picture here. Let's talk about effectiveness, and we've seen it. But the mainstream media won't tell you that, will they? They won't talk to you about like that, will they? They won't present that to you, will they? They just want to talk about some Jezebel, some whore, some Stormy Daniels, and some fake Russia collusion, which still to this day, there's no evidence. What did Van Jones call it? A nothing burger. And that fake news outlet CNN continues to peddle Stormy Daniels, Russia, Stormy Daniels, because that's all they got. They got nothing on the great white hope, like my good friend Jesse Lee Peterson always says. They got nothing on the man that we know, as my opinion, will go down when it's all said and done as the greatest president in our modern day history. And I'm sticking by that. I believe that. And I'm saying it right now, Donald Trump, 2020. He's got my vote. Donald Trump in 2020 has got my vote, hands down, no doubt about it. So don't believe the hype, folks. Don't believe the hype. Think for yourselves.